So I hope that all of you have already logged in into your Thunkable. Is everyone in? Yes. Oh, new student. So please open your talking app. So I believe previously what we have actually done is we have actually used a top tab navigator, and we have actually modified it to have the text to speech tab and also as well as the speech to text, which we have not developed yet. So what we have done to the text to speech screen is that we have added the background image, we have added some label, we have added a button, right? And of course we have added some invisible components. Let's go to the editing mode. We've gone to the invisible component, which is the text to speech component, which allows us to convert whatever that we have given input to be converted into speech. So how we did that is we actually assigned the functionality by going to the block tab. So whereby we can actually assign whenever. The whole idea is, if you look at the design, we want it to start speaking when you click the button, right? So of course, whenever you want to assign the functionality, it has to be related to the button. So we looked at the functions that are associated with the button. Then we included when the text button is clicked, then what you want to do, we want to call the text to speech speak function, and it requires an input text. So we actually type something here, and whatever that you type, then your app will start to speak this text. So how do we actually test? We actually go to the Thunkable Live Write, which is installed in your phone. The instructions are there in the Brighton. So this is how it looks when you actually, this is my design app. So when you click.
How many of you managed to hear your app talking?
So
how many of you managed to hear your app talking?
So whatever input that we have given there, it will speak, right? So I think everyone managed to achieve this, right? Yes, no? So now we're going to do some modification, a little bit of modification. Now, what is the limitation here? When we look at the block, what is the limitation here? Or in terms of the app? Yes, what is it with the text? Yes, the text is unchangeable. Very good. So can we actually add an option where we can actually type the text and then allow it to speak whatever text that we type? Wouldn't that be better? This one, because these changes you can only do on the programming part, the block programming. So as a user, you don't have access to the programming part. So we want to actually make some tweaks so that we can actually have some text input. So in order to do that, let's go to our design tab. Some audios from the class. So here what we are actually going to do is we are going to input. If you look at the add components, that is under the user interface, there is this text input option. So drag and drop it here. So I'm placing it in between of my label and also the button. You all managed to include it. So this is the text input, so we can rename it as text input. Let's renaming it as text input. So whatever changes that you are doing, you are able to see it on your phone, right? Real time. Are you able to see it on your phone? I'm also logging in back into my Thunkable. So if you preview, you should be able to see this. So how it looks on the preview and how it looks on your phone may be slightly different. So let's do some changes. So on my phone, it looks okay. So under the property of text input, there is hint. So you can actually put the hint as type your words here. So on my phone, the color of the text is actually a bit gray. Let's see if I can change it to some other colors. So if you preview, somehow or other my app is a bit slow. So for the text input, the hint is what you want the user to see. Type your words here. It's giving the hint what the user is supposed to type. And then you can see that under the keyboard type, there is default, email address, numeric, and phone pad. Now, why is this a different kinds of option? Like for example, in this case, when you use default, and when you on your app, if you touch on the, let me see if we can get it on the preview. No, we are not getting on the preview. So if you touch on your phone, you see that the keyboard that comes out is the normal default keyboard, right? But let's say if you change to email address, what do you think that will happen? It comes out the same, but it has option of alias and .com, right? And what if you change to numeric? It comes out like this. Sorry, I couldn't record it. Comes out numeric, right? Only numeric keypads are coming out. And the same thing is if you change it to phone pad, when you type, it comes your phone keypad. So when you're developing the app, you have to decide what type of keyboard type that you want it to appear when the user is clicking on the text input. In our case, we can actually leave it as default because we are just going to type something, right? So in the height and the width, you can actually set the height and width. So I think the height, let's make a relative size. Let's see if I put 80 or it's too big. Okay, 40 seems like okay, or maybe I'm going to give something like 30. The width is, I also wanted it to be a bit slightly larger, 90%. Okay, how each time whenever you're updating certain things, you will see it live update on your phone, depending on your internet connection, of course. So whenever you're doing, then if you like how it appears on your phone, then that's fine. You just leave it. We have already covered what is margin and padding in our previous class, so we are not going to go through that. Okay, so now we have included this, and remember that we have named it as text input. So now let us actually go to the block. So now when we go to the blocks, can you find the text input option here? Text input. So under text input, these are all the blocks that are associated with text input. And we are going to look for this one. Everyone able to see? If you need it to be larger, just let me know. We are going to look at the text inputs text. We're going to take this out. So we're going to put it at the text here. So now what it will do, whenever you press the button, it will speak whatever that you have typed in the text button, the text. Okay, so can you try if it's working?
How many of you managed to hear your app talking?
Sorry, mine is not updated yet.
How many of you managed to hear your app talking?
I'm logging it back. So what you actually type whatever words that you want there.
Hello.
Yeah, so I've typed hello, so it speaks whatever I'm typing. So whatever I type.
Hello there. Hello there. How are you?
So whatever I'm typing in the text box is speaking there.
Hello.
You can type some other words. Is it working fine with all of you? So all of you managed to get? Yes.
I couldn't connect the button to the
Okay, now we're going to do some other things also here. Let's see what are the invisible components that we have added. Only text to speech. Now, fortunately the projection is a bit small. Huh? So if you need me to make it big, just let me know. So the next thing that we want to do is, let me see how can I adjust this. Is we want to add another one more component, which is using the phone sensor. So if you go under the components palette, so if you go further down, there's layout, there's user interface, there's voice, there's image, data, location, and you see under sensors category, there is one which is known as the accelerometer. If you click, what is it? This is actually used to measure the force of acceleration on the phone. Basically all phones has it. Otherwise, you won't be able to use your map. Right? It's there. The accelerometer and also the GPS module. They actually works together. So all your high-tech phones definitely will have this. So we're going to drag and drop it here. So when you drag and drop it here, you see that it appears at the bottom, because this is not a user interface. It's something that works in the background, right? So accelerometer. So you don't have to do anything on the property by default. You just can leave it enabled. So now we want to actually go to the blocks. Now we want to assign a function related to the block, related to accelerometer. Now, because we have added that, you will be able to see under the list of components. So do you see accelerometer 1? So click on that. Now these are the blocks that are affiliated with accelerometer. So choose this one when accelerometer 1 is shaking. Put it here. Okay. Next, copy this block, duplicate, and put it here. Remove the text, and under the wording you can put stop shaking me. So now your app actually has a little bit of two function. One is it requires an input from you in the user text input. And the second one, you can actually utilize the sensor on your phone, and when you click the button, it will speak whatever that's typed. If you actually shake the phone, it will say stop shaking me. So try on your phone. Let me see if this is updated.
Stop shaking me.
There. Now my phone, if I shake my phone,
Stop shaking me.
then it will do that. And if I type something here,
Hello.
it does that. If I shake the phone, then it
Stop shaking me.
So if you want to change the sensitivity of it, under this components, if you click on the invisible components, you'll be able to see the sensitivity. If you set it to high sensitivity, then by
Stop shaking me. Stop shaking me.
then it becomes
Stop shaking me.
very sensitive. If you just
Stop shaking me. Stop shaking me. Stop shaking me.
so you can put a sensitivity as low. So you may need to shake a bit harder.
Stop shaking me.
Then only it
Stop
actually.
shaking me.
Is that okay? Having fun with your phone? Okay, next let us actually add some simple animation. How can actually sometimes you add some simple animation on your app. So you go under the add components, you scroll down. Okay, under image, do you see that there is this animation tab? So when you click on it, this is actually animation. Okay, so we're going to add, and I'm going to just drop it on top. Animation 1. So I've added the animation here. Of course, you can actually change the height and width, but we need the file source. So for us to have the file source, so this is known as LOT. See what is the spelling that they use? Yeah. Okay, this is LOT. Animation. Or LOT files. Search for LOT files. Search for LOT files. So you go to the LOT files. You can just log in using your Google account. Okay, so once you have actually logged in, see. Just going to search for, or do I have a dashboard? Let me just check. You can search for animations here. Search for animation. So let's say I'm going to search for arrow right. So the idea is why you want to put an arrow is to show that you can actually swipe or slide. Or maybe this is an slide. Say slide left. Okay, let's say for example, okay. Okay, let's say I'm going to use this one, this animation here. Oops, sorry. And just click on this animation. So you can see this is the animation, and you will be able to see that there is this Loti animation URL. So this is what you want to copy. And then you're going to paste it here. So when you preview, you can actually see the animation. So when you download itself, you can actually choose the color, background color, the color palette, or things like that. This one looks nice. Okay. This is okay. There are some where you can see the options of you downloading, right? You can see the numbers that are there. So those are free. The others, they are premium. So premium, of course, you have to actually pay. So you can look for the one that, let's see. You can actually choose the under the price. You can choose the free. So now you are able to see all those free animation. So maybe try this one. Just click on it and you'll be able to get the URL. They're going to paste that URL here. You cancel this and put new URL. So you're able to see on your phone app.
So you copy the link library?
Yes, only the link, the URL, Loti animation URL. Copy that and paste it under the animation URL. Animation. Managed to get it? So you can actually change the height or the width of it. Oops, this is 1000. So you can see it much more bigger now. Are you able to get? We still have the speech to text to work on, so we'll do that next. So far on the text to speech we are done. We have incorporated some animation. We have incorporated input text. and we have also incorporated sensor. So in our next workshop, next class, we will work on the speech to text.